my God.
We're live.
I'm going to shit my pants.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's never tasted so good.
Welcome back to the Ex-Best Friends podcast. Welcome back, like us, to each other.
I know.
This is the first day that Jordyn and I have hung out since I've been back from the US. So everything you're hearing is literally so fresh to each other's ears.
Yeah, this is all brand new. Like, it's so hard to be an adult and try and sort your life out. We're sending each other our rosters to try and sort shit out.
Literally. I actually said to Jordyn this week, I said, if we have to reschedule another day, I'm probably going to come and burn your place of employment down because it just kept getting all over the place. But anyway, we're here.
Here we are.
We're here.
We got the wine. We got the Tessie.
Yeah,
and we've got the motherfucking tea, bitch.
We are back in the Tesla we're just going to call this season 3. Welcome back to season 3 because like I have gone back and listened to some of the old ones and I feel like it's like it feels so far in the past now.
Oh, doesn't it ever? I was actually watching back episodes when you were gone, watching us on my fucking plasma screen TV that I have in my bedroom that's way too big for the space that I have. But anyway, just looking at our faces, talking about stuff that happened a year ago, about who we were in that time. And you were pregnant still, like so many situations. I watched one when we were sitting in the car, of course we were. We were sitting in the car at the beach, and you hadn't announced that you were pregnant yet.
What?
Yeah, and I watched that, and I was like, "Oh my God, that was so
crazy.
long ago." Yeah.
Well, we're back. I've been traveling for 6 months. You are in a relationship. Like, I feel like there's so much new stuff, and Jordyn and I have so much to tell you guys.
Oh my God.
Like, there's even been stories that we've gone to tell each other, like over text or whatever, and we're like, let's just wait for the podcast because it's too juicy.
Yeah, 100%. So
I'm so excited.
let's fucking do this. Let's have some more of this.
I don't even know how to hold a microphone anymore. And I never drink wine anymore, so I'm pretty lit.
I do. I'll always know how to hold a microphone. I'm actually a singer entrepreneur.
Are you?
You wouldn't believe
I
it.
would love to hear you sing.
Just Google Christina Aguilera on Instagram
Gotcha,
or
the same.
YouTube, and it sounds pretty similar.
Pretty spot on?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. Don't want to burst the windows out here, you know. So how was America? Let's start with you.
Okay.
Because that sounds so fun.
So fun. So basically halfway into my maternity leave, Bianca and I were like, okay, what should we do for the next 6 months of my leave? Like, how do we make the most of this time so that it's not just like us at home doing the same routine? Because if you've had a baby, it's pretty hectic when you're at home, like with the baby. Like, honestly, stay-at-home mums, and especially mums doing it by themselves, holy shit, I feel like you guys are the gods because I obviously have been a stay-at-home mum for the last 11 months, but with Bianca and with Bianca's mum when we were in the US, the people who do it alone, queens of this world. I do not know how you do it. Like, it is so much work. It is, and I've gone back to work, like back to my job in Australia, and Bianca's now the stay-at-home mum, and work is 10 billion times easier than being at home with a baby.
Wow.
It is like having a baby is...
You're really not selling it to me.
But it's also the best thing you'll ever experience in your life. So being in the US was incredible because we got to go to all these places. Basically, our goal of being there was to see which state we would want to live in if and when we moved to the US. So I thought, oh my gosh, California, LA, like that's going to be the spot because I've been there before.
You've always talked about living in LA.
Always.
Yeah.
But a whole nother story about that I'll explain later. Hated LA. Absolutely hated it.
Wow.
We fell in love with New York.
Oh, isn't it the most amazing place? It's so fun.
It's so fun.
There's always something, whether you're like obviously with a baby, new mums, or you're like a young person just living your life.
Yeah.
Like it's so, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a real
Loved
character
it.
building experience being in New York.
So we basically had 6 months off to just explore. I feel like the number one question I've got though, which I just want to answer honestly, is that everyone has asked like, oh, how'd you guys afford this? Like, how'd you just take 6 months off your life? First of all, Australia has incredible maternity leave like
Benefits.
Benefits. Like you get paid from your work. I got paid for like 24 weeks of the year at half pay. So
Slow.
incredible. Then you get 20 weeks paid from the government. That's 44 weeks total of still getting an income.
Wow.
But because we left the country and we weren't paying any bills because we had like people take over all of our stuff here, we didn't have any bills.
Oh.
So it was like any money that we had was literally just for fun. We didn't have to pay bills. Actually, that's a lie. We still had to pay our car payments because we didn't want to give anybody our car.
The fucking Tessie.
But one payment was so worth it. Like,
wow.
I just felt like I had to say that because so many people are like, yeah, but like I'm encouraging other people to do it. Like if you want to pause your job and go travel, and everyone's like, yeah, but not everyone can afford that. We had to figure out ways to do it, and it was pretty fucking hard. But we did it, and we lived with Bianca's family for free. So it's like...
Yeah. Wow, it's so crazy how much of our wage just goes on bills.
It's just bills, yeah. If you can like...
Fuck!
If you can offset some of your bills for a little bit, cancel all your subscriptions. The amount of subscriptions I had to cancel that I didn't realise I was paying for, oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Review those.
I'm just logged in. I pay for Netflix, but I'm logged into everybody else's other stuff.
I like trading them. Like if I've got one, we'll trade for another. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, I love that.
Until Netflix brought in that thing where they would like...
Oh, the household thing? Absolute fucking bullshit. Wait, so New York was your favourite?
New York was our absolute favourite.
Is that your first time in New York?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was. Not that I like... didn't want to go there the last times I went to the US, but like I guess I just like didn't really have any reason to. And there's so many places in America that we wanted to go that we also didn't have a reason to, but this time we were like, okay, where do we want to live?
Yeah.
And New York is it. We would live in New York.
Wow.
New York.
New York.
I want to live in New York and have some coffee.
Yes. Yes, you fucking do. I remember last time I went to New York, all I wanted to do, because I'm such a fucking tourist, is go to like a pancake house.
Is that a thing?
Oh my God, is it a thing? Bitch, going to like a cafe in the morning in New York, in like right in the city, and you get like pancakes, or you get like chicken and waffles, which is so fucking random, by the way. Anyone that actually likes that, I think, is lying. And you just get like really shit coffee that they constantly come and fill up for you. And it's just
American
the vibe.
coffee.
Like, you know what? It's just the hustle and bustle vibe. And I love that shit. And we would always do that if we went to America. I'm talking like I've been to New York 400 times. But like when I'd gone with my family when I was younger, mum and dad loved doing that. And so I went. And the person that I was with was having a horrible time, so it really ruined my experience. And I don't know why I just randomly started telling that story, but here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, love New York. Like, highly, highly recommend. It's just like I feel like I'm not the first person to say this, but New York is way cooler than LA. I genuinely feel that.
I agree, 100%.
Genuinely
There's
feel
some
that.
cool places in LA, like don't get me wrong. Like West Hollywood, fucking eat your heart out. I love that shit. I'm here for the gays. They're always, they know how to have a good time. That part of LA is fun. Disneyland's fun.
But just with those examples, to get from Disneyland in Anaheim to West Hollywood will take you like over an hour and a half in traffic. And the shit you've got to go through to get there, like the no parking, the traffic, sometimes the scary people that you see.
Sometimes.
Yeah, like LA did scare me a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know, it was so funny when we were there because when we were in LA, there was also at the exact same time we were there, some Instagram influencers that I either know of, or I think there was a couple that we kind of know personally.
Really?
They were there at the same time.
Oh.
And I
I know
feel
the
like
ones.
it felt like that what they were posting, we were going to the same places. And I know it's all about perspective, but it felt like they were posting like, you know, the influencer type pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, but show the whole thing.
Make it be so fucking for real. Come on.
Be for real and show what it's actually like.
Yeah.
Like we went to that Erawan shopping centre on the same day that I saw an influencer post that they were also there, the one in Venice.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same one. I went to the same one. And to get there, like when you get there at the front of the shopping complex, there's like 50 to even like there are so many, like hundreds of like caravans that people live in, and there is like trash everywhere, like all up the street, like and when you drive in there's like security checking you to see where you're going, and you're only allowed to be there for half an hour. Like it's like super, like they literally like wrote down our number plate and they were like, you have 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, 30 minutes to grocery shop? Okay.
Oh, wow, I can't take my fucking time.
Yeah. And
if I'm going into is it Erewhon?
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 Erewhon, I think.
Erewhon.
Erewhon.
Erewhon. Erewhon. If I was going in there, I would want to be strolling.
Same, because when I travel, I love to like see the local grocery stores.
Absolutely.
And I was so excited to go to this place that everyone posts about. And it is a cool place. Like it's really cool once you get in there. But the surrounding area of it is not nice. Like, and I'm not just talking about like all the like people living in the caravans. I just mean the actual suburb, like the area. I was like, this is like kind of scary. Like because we were thinking of, okay, if we lived here, this is where we would shop. I don't want to come here every day.
Yikes.
Like, so it's kind of a bit of a facade. That's the vibe that I got. And once you get in Erawan, it's sick. Like there is like really cool stuff. Such a great store if you want to pay $17.50 US for a smoothie.
Bruh, which is actually like $23, $24 Australian for a fucking smoothie if that isn't a cocktail.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Waste of money.
So I did do the tourist thing and go there and like we bought a soup and a smoothie and a couple of other things and took a photo. But like I think we spent maybe $60 or $80 US, which is like nearly $150 at a grocery store for a couple of things.
That's just ridiculous.
So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the hype of it is like really Instagrammy. And
yeah, I mean, I will do it. I have done it. And I'm going to do it again.
100%.
But it's stupid.
I'm just saying, for those people who maybe can't do it or haven't actually experienced it, just like, you know, it's not all as it seems.
Yeah, don't beat yourself too much, you know. But you're enjoying being home?
Yeah, love being home, love being back in a routine, love the Gold Coast. It's funny, I actually watched one of our old podcasts and I actually said on a podcast, I think I said something like, do you think the Gold Coast is like the novelty's wearing off? And you were like, no, I love the Gold Coast. I love the Gold Coast.
Yes.
I love the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I missed it so much.
Yeah, I love the Gold Coast. I am so at home here. I love it so much. I hate how overpopulated it is since COVID.
Yeah.
But also, like, I understand why everyone wants to move here.
Yeah.
I get it.
I love the vibes.
Yeah.
I love the Gold Coast.
And it's only getting better.
much.
Like there's so many new places coming up. Like this whole new precinct in Nobbies that just opened up.
Really?
Broad Beach is fucking popping off. Burleigh, once that fucking tram line's gone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I hate that stupid fucking tram line because every time I go and get my nails done, I have to park like 400 meters away because it's on the Gold Coast Highway and it's so annoying.
Yeah, the roadworks is pretty wild on the Gold Coast.
It honestly takes half an hour to get anywhere. I've never in my entire life thought that getting from Broad Beach to Burleigh would take close to 40
long.
minutes.
Any time of day too.
Oh, but enough about that. But yeah, no, this is honestly the place to be.
It's funny because Gold Coast is kind of the LA of Australia. And I love
You reckon?
the Gold Coast.
You reckon? I thought Bondi would be.
Yeah, but Bondi really only has like the beach and then it's like corporate city. Like Sydney CBD.
Yeah, true. Like there's not a lot of like, you only really go to one place in Bondi. That's fair.
Yeah, and if you want to go into the nightlife, you've got to go into the city of Sydney.
Yeah, true. The Gold Coast has like each individual suburb has their own life, which is wild because they're all different and I love them all.
They really are.
I love it. I love the Gold Coast.
Same. I love the Gold
living
Coast
here.
again.
It's my favourite. I even love the Burleigh Pav.
Love the Pav.
I love going to the Pav. You know what? Sue me.
It's a fun time.
I always have so much fun.
Yeah, I've never gone there and had a bad time.
No.
Do love the Pav.
Yeah.
But But sometimes I walk past there like in the morning, like if I'm just like going for a walk or getting a coffee, and like I just like see the people who are there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, fuck, it's kind of motivating actually. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, all of you people are like super fit.
I just think it's the pretentious vibe of the Gold Coast is something that I don't fuck with because like
Yeah.
that's not my vibe. Like those people that think status and Instagram followers and photos on Instagram is like who makes you like a person.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with that, and you can really see that on the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
you
you
can
do.
see a lot of people like that. And I don't really like vibe with that, but I also really just don't let it affect me anymore. It used to make me feel really anxious about myself, like until like for the first few years that I lived here. But I've been here almost like 7.5 years now, so I'm like I feel
Isn't
like I'm
that so shit about social media that like it really makes you feel like you have to be someone?
yeah, totally.
Otherwise, you're no one if you're
Yeah.
not. Like,
My perspective on social media and like that sort of vibe of it, of like what your following looks like or what your feed looks like, has really changed in the last few years.
same.
Along with everything else in my life, but that's definitely one that's right up the top there.
I think like going to the US as well and having a break from like our life here and everything,
Yeah.
we really had time to think about, okay, what do we actually want to do with life?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you think that being away for 6 months changed you guys like as a person, as a couple, like
Definitely.
changed your perspective on what you want?
One thing we realized as a couple is that like, wow, we can spend every fucking second together and not get sick of each other. Like, how did we just spend every day for 6 months? We obviously had the whole of my maternity leave with Realm with a baby, which having a marriage survive your first year with a baby apparently is a celebration. So cheers to that, because we fucking loved it.
Oh,
But being together every day, no one's going to work, no one's leaving. Like, we seriously, honestly, were fine the whole time. We kept being like, is there supposed to get to a point where we're like sick of each other?
I love that.
Never got sick of each other.
You
So
guys are just like besties.
yeah, like literally best friends. Like, it was so nice every day just being like, cool, what are we doing today? And just like exploring. But on a personal note, I think as well that like being away and like really taking time away from everything, if we call it like a midlife retirement.
I love that.
That's what we've been calling it.
That's fantastic.
Or that's what I've been calling it. I don't know if Bianca thinks that's lame, but I call it that.
She probably will.
She probably does. It really took away the ego of like our our routine with social media. Like, I feel like we were home and feeling like just that feeling of like having to post and like having to. What are you looking for?
Your Stanley Cup.
Oh, you want some water?
Yeah, I just need a little sip.
Thanks. Just having some like time away from all that really made us realize what actually matters. And it's funny because they say when you go on holiday, like that's when your social media is the most active because you're like taking photos. Mine was the opposite. Like, I just was so living in the moment by accident. It wasn't a thing like, I'm going to go off social media. I just like didn't give a fuck to post.
Those people that post on social media being like, I'm going off social media for a while, so if you need me, you can text me. And if you don't have my number, then guess we're not going to talk. Like,
So
you don't need to post on
cringe.
you don't need to post on social media to tell people that you're getting off social media. Like, if anyone
Literally.
really fucking needs you, they'll send you a fucking email. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
literally. They'll contact you somehow.
Oh, be so fucking real.
So funny. Actually, I got to call myself out. I did write it in my Instagram note.
You know what? That's
But-
different. It's you.
The reason why I did it was because I know that notes only like it's people who I follow back. So I was just trying to tell like because I was in the US,
Your
and
buds.
I didn't have access to my number either.
Yeah.
So I was like, guys,
Different circumstance.
I don't have my phone and I don't have social media because I did have people being like, "Are you okay?" Even my dad was like, "How come you're not posting any photos
Yeah.
on Instagram?" I was like, "I just don't care anymore. Like I
Yeah.
just felt like I was posting for the sake of posting, and I just don't give a fuck. Like I don't care."
Yeah. Wow. No. Well, what you did on your notes didn't give me the ick. But
Okay, cool.
Be careful, other people.
Oh, I'm getting pretty dangerously close to giving Jordyn the ick.
It happens. I'll tell ya. I do get the ick. Yeah, I get the ick severely. It's very bad.
I want to talk about you and your life and where you've been and what you've been doing because I haven't seen you in 6 months.
Oh my god.
You have a girlfriend now.
Oh my god.
I came home, you're in a relationship.
Like a genuine, actual relationship. Yeah. But the last 6 months of mine has been so like I'm going to say until I met my girlfriend, I was really just like focusing on myself. And I know that sounds corny and I'm like working on myself and blah, blah, blah. But like, honestly, since like, I'm just going to say it, like my divorce, when I got divorced, it's been almost 3 years now. And like, obviously my life has changed and transformed like astronomically. That's not even a comparison anymore to the life that I was living then. But this year especially, I think the situationship that I was in end of last year, beginning of this year really made me put my shit into perspective a lot. And since that, I really just I just put my fucking head down and I was like, I really just want to like focus on myself. Like, I don't want to be with anyone. Like, I don't even want to like hook up with anyone. Like I was single for a little while and I was having a good time, but like I just had I was so just like in my own head. Like I was just like so focused on myself, and that was like a really good thing that I did, I think. Because a while ago, the beginning of my solo fucking time, whatever, like I really focused on myself as well, and that made a huge difference. So I kind of just like channeled that person again, and I was like, who was I and where was my head at then? And it made such a difference. Like I spent the first like 5 months of the year literally like my screen time went down like 60%. I was just like working a heap. I was working out. I was going on like walks every single day. I was just really putting the time into myself, and it was so nice. And I started a new job, which is a job I've been applying for like a while. I've been trying to work at this place for a really long time, and I finally got a really good gig, and I love it. Like I really love it. I've been struggling to like figure out what I want to do since taking the 2 years off to do OnlyFans. Like if anyone's been here for a long time, they know that I literally did OnlyFans for ages. I literally didn't have a normal job for so long, and getting back into the swing of going to work every day was so hard. Like such a difficult thing to do, and I've been just like trying to figure out like what I want to do, like what's going to get me motivated to go to work every day. Like I need to do something that I'm enjoying.
Purpose, yeah,
and something that I enjoy and something that makes me feel better.
Do you think that getting offline, because like I experienced this a little bit in America in a different way, but like do you think that getting offline and not focusing on OnlyFans, not focusing on Instagram, not focusing on like the way you are viewed online had an effect on like how you were dating?
100%, yeah.
Because like you have dated people who have a like presence or want a presence, whatever you want to call it, whatever your level of presence is, that like I feel like when you stepped away and were like, this doesn't actually matter to me anymore.
Yeah.
Who am I really?
Yeah, 100%. I think it made a massive difference. And my perspective, like I think I mentioned before, like my perspective on social media after stopping doing OnlyFans and stopped dating certain people, like it changed everything. And that then domino affected into like helping me change my life. Like
stop dating people where Instagram is such a big factor of their life as well.
Yeah, like and like it wasn't even like I did it on purpose. Like I really wasn't out there seeking some sort of like person per se, but like it just happened. It was like this repetitive thing that I kept doing, and I was like, bitch, get your fucking shit together. Like learn your lesson for fuck's sake. Like what are you doing? And I got into the rhythm of like talking to myself, being like, what the fuck, Jordyn? Like what are you doing? Like Jojo, have you learned anything? Like have you learned nothing? That's what I was doing, talking to myself. And so yeah, I just really spent like a few months fucking trying to just sort my shit out and trying to just like be a better person and grow from shit, and like just all of the things that I said that I want to do, I just like really focused on it. And
yeah, you really dove back into work.
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, I'm going to be 29 soon. That's my last year of my 20s. I feel like if I've learned anything in the last 3 years, it's learned that like how I feel about myself is the most important thing. And I'm just not here to fucking fuck around. I just want to feel my absolute best. I want to be my best version of myself at all times, even if, I mean, I'm not perfect, but like.
No one is. I want
to try and be, you know, I want to try and do my absolute best. I don't want to just settle and be like, these traits of mine are pretty average, but like I'll live with it. Like, no, like I want to better myself constantly.
I love on social media when someone, not you specifically, but outs you, like someone, not outs, but like someone has come at me and been like, you're like this, or they've come at you and been like, you're like this. And I'm like, why don't you put yourself on social media and have people judge you?
Yeah.
'Cause it's sometimes fucking hard. Like, cause
actually hurts my feelings when people do that to me. I get so sad because I'm like, you don't know me. I'm actually a really nice person.
And I think, okay, if we really knew you, person behind this fucking private account, what are your flaws? Because we all have them.
Speaking of fucking private accounts, I'm just going to segue sideways for a sec. Did you see the fucking men coming at me on TikTok? Oh my God. So if you haven't seen it, I was just drunk at an engagement party and one of my girlfriends was talking about this guy that was trying to flirt with her and she was just so wasted that she was entertaining it. And I was like, come on. Like, you know those guys that like roll their own ciggies and are wearing fucking open toe shoes at a club and smell like their own ciggies. Like, I'm really trying to be nice, but like, you know the type. If you're an Aussie, you know the fucking type. And she is just too nice. And we were outside in the smokers area, and he just wouldn't stop like rizzing her up, like chatting her up. And I was like, come on, like stop entertaining him because he's getting the wrong idea. Like that was the whole beginning of it. I was like, I was just drunk and being silly and I was like, but he's literally ugly. I was like, he's wearing open toe shoes and he's literally ugly. You don't need to be standing over there fucking entertaining him when you could be sitting here with me and having a good time. Like, and I know that sounds really bitchy, but at the time I was drunk and I just wanted to have a good time with my friend and she was over with fucking whoever over in the corner entertaining bullshit conversation. And I was
someone
like,
someone who knew that if she was sober, she would be like, oh, he's ugly.
Yeah. And I was like, just get over here. Stop leaving me by myself. And so I was just being a bitch, basically. And I'm sorry that it came across exactly like that, but that's who I was being to her, not to anybody else. It was just a conversation between us. I said nothing about the guy. I said nothing about anything. No one knew who he was or who I was referring to on the TikTok. It was literally just me talking to her. And I was like, just because you're single doesn't make him any more attractive. Like, just being silly. And oh my God, did the men hate it. They fucking hated it. It has so many comments and all of them are from the men being like, oh, that's big of a fool to say.
Yeah.
Oh, someone with a sloppy rig like you shouldn't be talking like that. Like being so fucking mean
like,
to me.
You said it's like
I pissed the boys off. I pissed them off.
And it's so hypocritical. Like they're pissed at you for calling someone ugly.
Yeah.
While calling you ugly.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's
they
the same
annihilated me.
Exact same thing. It's like, yeah, okay. Have you ever heard of personal preference? You think he was ugly and they think you're ugly. It's like, and
yeah, literally,
that's the point.
They like, and I'm like, I really, and everyone was saying that I was being a mean girl and all that stuff. And honestly, I was going to delete the TikTok because I started getting in my head and I was like, I'm not a mean girl. I'm literally the last person ever in the world that's a mean girl. It would kill me if anyone thought that. But then I was just like, I'm sorry, but if you actually have seen the video, you can see that I look rolled. And
also,
it's just me. There's nobody else in the video. It goes for like 9 seconds and it's literally just me being like, but he's ugly. And if you've also ever watched TikTok in your life, you know that that's a reference to a fucking viral video that went around. So you can suck my fucking dick.
Yeah.
Okay?
Suck her dick.
Suck my dick.
Suck her dick. Because also the people who are like, oh, that's a really mean girl thing to do, call someone ugly.
I don't actually think anyone's ugly, but like, get away.
How like people who say stuff like that, I just want to know, like behind closed doors, have you ever said something about someone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I kind of get really frustrated when people like online, when someone puts themselves out there to make a funny video, some content, whatever. And then there's people in the comments being like, oh, I think this is really rude, or I think this is really mean, or I think this is bitchy or whatever. That's their opinion, which fair enough. But like really reflect and be like, have I ever done that? Because surely in the privacy of your own home, you've definitely called someone ugly.
Yeah, literally.
You've done it.
But anyway, enough about the men on TikTok that I don't give a fuck about. Do you know that girl Drew Faleo?
Oh, yeah, I don't
She
know.
just got engaged. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I fucking love that
Love
bitch.
her videos,
I love her.
same.
I just channeled her when everyone was being mean to me, and I was like, I can only imagine the men in her comments. Like, good God. But I fucking love that bitch. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
It comes with it, but the first time you get hated is really hard. Like the first time people start attacking you. Like I remember
I've been attacked before. It's happened multiple times, but it's usually people have usually attacked me because they think I'm like some fucking horrible person in my past relationship, but they learnt pretty quick, I guess. But no, that's...
But also it's always from the privacy of a private account. How about say that to me with your public account? I would love a public account to come at me. It's always the private account. It's always a private person or like a fake account saying some shit.
Say it with your chest, brother.
Yeah, come out, say it with your chest, with your full government name. Come at me like that, and 100%. I will take what you say into consideration because I like feedback.
Period.
But not from a private account.
Period. But another fun thing that happened when I was away, you wouldn't believe it. This is actually just a bit funny, and I'm just calling myself out.
While you tell this story, for anyone watching on YouTube, I'm going to be looking around for the ice and the wine to refill. While Jordyn tells the story so it doesn't just look like I'm just being a weirdo.
Here we go. I can't believe I'm telling this, but I wrote it down in our notes app, so I have to say it. So, you know, when you go to like school camps and stuff and you always have to wear thongs in the shower.
Yep.
So you don't get anything, right?
What do they call it?
Tinea. It's a fungal disease, if anyone doesn't know what that is, like an infection. And you wouldn't fucking believe it. But I got tinea.
Did you?
I got tinea from getting a pedi at one of the places in the shopping centre.
No way.
And I was in full denial that it was tinea. It grew. Oh my God, it was so bad.
I've had it before, so don't be embarrassed. But what the fuck? Not recently.
At 28 years old, I got tinea. It grew from inside my pinky toe, my second, like my ring finger toe, and it grew all the way around the top of my foot, under my foot, and you know how we found out. So it had been itchy for a couple of days. And in case you didn't know this, I know now tinea is extremely contagious.
Yeah.
So
we have so many topics in our notes, by the way. I love how this is the first one.
I just saw it. I was like, this is such a fun little segue. I was hungover with some of my besties laying on my bed, and I was trying to make my friend like tickle my legs, and she grabbed my foot and was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I don't know. It's like, I think I got bitten by something. And she Googled it because like it looked a certain way. Like it didn't, it looked like tinea. And she Googled it and she literally, everyone evacuated my house. I had to mop the floors. I had to change my sheets. I had to do all of the things because they found out that I have literal tinea, and I had to go to the doctors and get antibiotics and fungal cream for my fucking toes, and I had to spread fungal cream on my toes and wear socks for like a week. And do you know what the worst thing was? What happened? It was the same week that I met my girlfriend, and so I was trying to avoid. No, I think if she's listening, this is me telling her the full story.
The first time she knew that
But I literally had fungal cream under a bandage under my sock on our first date.
You should have told her on the first date.
Oh God. No, I'm glad I avoided that. Yeah, that was that was a bit of fun. Here, let me have some of that.
I have also had that before. It's not fun. You should always wear thongs in the shower, but in saying that,
I got it from a pedi.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't prevent it. I got it from years ago. I was like, how did I get this? This is fucked. Like, I don't know how I get this. And then someone I know was like, I was looking for my shoes, and this person who I know was like, oh, they're in my room. I was wearing them, and I was like, oh, okay, no worries. And then I saw her feet, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's where I got it from.
Oh my God, you saw it from her. That's horrible.
And I did tell her, I was like, I'm pretty sure you gave me tinea.
That's such a random thing. Like, you know, when you get like an STD and you have to sit someone down and you're like, hey, I have the clap.
I love how you said, you know when. No, that's never personally happened to me.
It's never personally happened to me, but I know some people who have had to do that. Imagine sitting someone down and being like, I have tinea.
For a bit there, I wasn't talking into the mic, so I don't know if you guys heard even my tinea story. So I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen and it's just you with the tinea story.
Oh, fuck's sake. Fuck's sake, hun. Yeah. But
I just have to say, I'm lit.
Yeah.
I don't drink anymore because, like, obviously I'm a new mum, and so we just don't find a lot of time to just drink. But like,
this is our third glass,
and I'm getting pretty lit.
As soon as I walked in the door earlier, we had a glass of wine with Bianca, and we're just like chit chatting and catching up. And so then we had another wine at the beginning of this episode. Now we're on our third glass of wine, and we're not even halfway through.
No.
So
we got so much more coming up.
Yeah. But yeah, that's when I went on my first date with my girlfriend.
Yeah. So you have a girlfriend. How'd you guys meet?
Oh, that's a story in itself. Okay. So
that's why we're here.
My little sweet darling. She's honestly the best.
So cute.
She's so cute. So we met on the gram, you know how it goes these days.
Yeah.
But
Same.
the truth is we have had each other on Instagram for quite some time. And we'd always like each other's stuff. We'd always reply to each other's stories, like very flirty from the beginning. And we would have conversations and I would just ghost her. We've been having good conversation and then I just wouldn't reply. And not because I didn't like her, not because the conversation wasn't going well, but because I'm a piece of shit. And so basically, I just kept fucking flirting with her, but then I'd be like liking her stories, but then like I just hadn't replied to her DM. Like I was just being a total piece of shit.
Like intentionally, or you were just busy in life?
No, I was just like, sometimes I'd be like in the mindset to have a good chat and like be able to like throw some flirt and banter, and then other times I just like I'd be at work and I'd see her message and then I just wouldn't reply, and then it would get too far and then I just wouldn't respond. And she's a little bit younger than me. So that kind of freaked me out as well. Because I've been in that position once before, and it was just very clear that we had like a massive age gap. And that initially like freaked me out. And then after a little while, I just was like, you know what, like there's something about this girl. And so I initiated conversation again, and then we just started talking, and then we kind of just like never stopped talking for a little while.
So cute.
Went on our first date, and it was game over. 100%. Like first date, I was like, wow, wow.
You're like, I'm sitting here with a fungal toe infection. And I've met the one.
I have. Yeah,
she doesn't know.
We just had like the best first date ever. Like we just had such a good time. Like we were sitting at dinner and we went to this beautiful fucking restaurant and we ordered this food, and the waiter came over twice and asked us if the food was okay and if everything was okay, because we hadn't touched anything, because we were just talking. Like we just didn't stop talking. We didn't eat anything. We just went through a bottle of wine and like nibbled at our food, but we literally didn't stop talking.
Just yapping away.
Yeah, yapping. And then we went to another bar, and then we went to another bar, and then we went to the snooker place and played pool. Like we just didn't want the night to end. Like we just kept going.
Go to a place like that.
Yeah, it was really fun. There's one in Broadbeach. You should go. It's really good. It's called Snooker World. We should go.
We should all go.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
We're going to be members soon, so
sign me right up.
It's really good. But no, it was literally just the best first date ever. And I, in my normal self, started overthinking it the next day, and I was like, I'm dramatic. It mustn't have been mutual. Like there's no way that she feels the same. And then she messaged me being like, is it too soon to see you again? And I was like, yes!
That's how it feels.
I was like, yes, I wasn't being fucking Delulu. I was like, she's on board too. Like, she really, like, she had as much of a good time as I did.
Good.
And yeah, from our second date, besides the week I went to Bali, we've spent a total of 4 nights apart. I just think
This
she's.
is it. You're in.
Don't quote me because I'm really hoping that this doesn't come back to bite me on the ass. But I reckon she's the one, bitch. I reckon she is like, we are just like perfect together.
I love that.
Yeah. And this.
I'm like so happy for you because you seem so happy. You seem so much more yourself. You seem like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like chill.
Yeah.
Like you have a different vibe.
Thanks. Yeah. She has brought out this like side in me that I have only like seen from afar. Like I've seen in my friends. I've seen my friends be in happy, healthy, deeply in love relationships and grow together. Like, and I know that I sound very premature saying this because it's only been a couple months, but like I've never had this before. Like I've never had a connection with someone the way that I do with her, and like someone that just makes me feel like everything that I tell her is okay. Like I can never tell her something that is going to make her run away or like. Literally on our first date, we was yapping and I told her everything about why I got divorced. I literally had to sit there and be like, so I was married, and she was just like, sorry. And I was like, yeah. And I fully just had to tell her because I was like, this has changed me as a person. This is who I am. And like, if you're a fucking lesbian, you know, you get emotional very quickly. I mean, I definitely didn't want to bring that up on the first date, but it happened.
No, it's a part of your history.
Yeah, it happened. We started talking about it, and like, she just took it so well. Like, she just made me feel like I wasn't telling her something that was like detrimental to our like bond. And that's something that I've never had before. I've had people use that against me. I've had people be like deep into our like relationship or situationship, turn around and be like, oh, you're this and this because of your ex, or like you're just going to end up going back, or you're still in love with them, or blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, she never has made me feel like anything that's happened to me before I met her is, it's a part of who I am. It's not me with damaged bullet wounds on the outside. She just sees it as like, oh, that's just you as a whole.
Well, any of those things that even you just said that people have said to you, that's their own insecurities.
100%.
So it shows that like your current relationship, that she doesn't have those same insecurities, which is like, that is like so amazing when you meet somebody who doesn't have insecurities to use against you.
Yeah, 100%. And like, boy, have I been there with people that use their own insecurities and their own mental health against me. And I'm such an empathetic person that I find it very natural to take care of that person and take care of that part of them that is an insecurity, instead of setting a boundary or standing up for myself and being like, but it has nothing to do with you. Like, you need to just this is about me. This happened before I met you kind of vibe, if that makes sense. And I've always fallen into that and given into it and allowed someone to tell me what to do.
Because you just wanted it to work.
Yeah.
Like when you meet someone and you're like, you know, going through that stage of like being single and, you know, trying to put yourself out there, when you meet someone, you just want it to work.
Yeah.
So when they're putting all these things on you, these insecurities, your brain so quickly is like, no, it's fine. It's because of blah, blah, blah. It's all because of me. I'll fix it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
When really, sometimes you do have to just say to yourself, no, like this just isn't it.
Yeah.
Like,
and
this isn't the one.
Yeah, I definitely think I've like learnt that, and I've learnt a lot about how to like put myself first. And I really pride myself on knowing like what I want and like what I deserve. And the last 2 people prior to my girlfriend now that I've either dated or seen since my divorce, both of those relationships I ended because I was like, no, I deserve more than this. I deserve better than this. And I really just got this like this kick up the ass when my ex-wife left me and for the reasons that she did and all of the things that happened, it kicked me up the ass to be like, you will never, ever, ever, ever fucking settle for anything less than exactly what you want ever again. And it took me a really long time to learn that, but that's the only thing that I can put it back to, of being like, that changed my life.
It's huge. Like, to go through marriage.
Yeah.
And then divorce.
Yeah.
And then have to date.
Yeah. And those, like, I'm not saying that the people that I dated aren't bad people. Like,
they just weren't right.
They just weren't for me.
Yeah.
Like, but the relationship itself wasn't working. And I was the one that had to be like, you know what? This isn't working for me. You don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. Yes, we're both about to hurt. And yes, I feel like a piece of shit for hurting you. But I'm hurting you and I'm being honest and being like, this isn't working. I'm not going to go and cheat on you. I'm not going to go and do anything behind your back. Like, nothing's happened wrong between us. I'm just going to end it and call it for what it is. It's just not working out. We're not progressing. This is not going in the direction that I know what I want for my future. I'm just going to call it what it is. And have one of those people taken it well? Yes. Have the other person been a total piece of shit? Yes. But it doesn't really matter because that's just my truth and it was what it was.
Anyone who you like break up with because you realize, okay, this is not working, even if they're mad or upset in the moment, because it does hurt, in the future when they meet the one for them, they're going to be like, thank God that happened.
100%.
Like, you always look back and go, okay, I'm glad that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Sucks in the moment, but you always look back and think, man, I'm so glad that.
Totally. It was the best, like, that whole situation. I mean, I would have preferred to not have like lifelong trust issues and trauma, but that's something that's now like I'm trying to use that as an empowering thing for myself to, that's just a part of me, and like not everyone's going to be like that, and not everyone's going to fucking do me like that, and unfortunately I have met some people that do you like that, but it's not everyone. And I think my girlfriend has really proven that to me, and she hasn't even tried to prove it to me. It's just who she is. It just is, yeah. Her aura, her energy, like everything about her is just so trusting and genuine and authentic, and she's so like beautiful and caring but like carefree. Like she's just everything good about a person. Like she's just the best, and I'm just like, I want to be more like her, and that's so nice. Like I just love it.
Oh my God. You're just like, and she's the best and love her. She's my best friend and love her. I love it. I can't wait to meet her. I'm so excited to go on a double date. Yeah. Sorry, 2.5 date we call it, because Realm will probably come. Or maybe not. I'm just getting comfortable with having somebody babysit him, so maybe that's what will happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to go on a double date.
Lighting.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I know, it's so weird that you haven't met her yet. It's so weird because like a lot of my friends, our friends haven't met her because we've just been every weekend since we've basically been dating. Like we've just had lots on. Like we haven't been together for that long. It's only been like 2 months. But like
that's 8 weekends.
We've just been on the go. Like we're both really socialite people. Like we both love seeing our friends. We love hanging out with people. Sitting at home, not doing anything for the weekend, being inside the whole time is not our vibe. So yeah, we've just been having so much fun, and like we just like doing the same shit.
I love it.
And she's the only person that doesn't make me feel weird about getting excited every time I see a whale out in the water. And she just thinks it's so cute, and I love it.
It's really the little things.
It is the little things.
It's the little things.
Dude, the little things. She picked me up from the airport when I went to Bali. Mind you, she also dropped me to the airport in Brisbane, and because she wanted to. She literally asked me if she could do that, which is wild. And then she picked me up from the airport with flowers and a coffee. And in case I'd already had a coffee on the plane, she also got a green juice for me and picked me up from the airport and then came back home with me. And I knew that I was really tired, obviously. So she worked from home for that day and just laid with me while I was fucking jet lagged and had a nap. Like, what? I'm sorry.
It's so good to hear you, like, not to put down what you did at all. That's top tier. But like, you've obviously been poorly treated.
So bad, dude.
Because, like, not to say that's the bare minimum. Like, I'm not putting down what she did at all. That's amazing. That's what everyone should be doing for their partner.
Yeah.
But, like it also kind of makes me kind of, like, sad because I'm like, the fact that you're, like,
gobsmacked at that.
yeah, like, you were never treated like that.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
But now that you've got that, and it's so incredible because that's how it should be. It should be like that. But you're like, she asked to drop me to the airport. Yeah, like this is it. This is how it's supposed to be.
I know.
And you do deserve it. And you're getting all these things now that you've always deserved.
Yeah.
And you have to let them happen, and then also like you do it back to them, and that's like the coolest part about like when you find these kind of relationships.
Yeah, she like I'm such like a little romantic simp, and so is she, and it just works so well because
I
like
love that.
she just treats me like a princess, and I never thought that I would ever like I was in denial that I'm a princess. Like I really tried to deny that I'm like
Jordyn?
I'm not a princess. Like I'm literally
Princess
so
Jordyn
independent.
was
I
in
can do
denial.
whatever I want. But like and like don't get me wrong, I am an independent bitch. But like the fact that I have someone that just wants to treat me like a princess, and she always says it all the time. She's like, "You're my princess," and I'm like, she's like, "Of course, you're literally my princess," and I'm like. Hold on, I'm just going to go fucking throw myself over.
It's so funny just to talk about that in like a general sense as like the whole like mask femme thing, like where there's like these roles that are expected of you. It's so funny, like, because I've always been like the maskish type, I guess, like by some definitions.
Yeah.
Where like I'm the doer, like I like doing things, but then like also it is so nice when someone does that shit for you.
Oh my God.
You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I deserved this. Like Bianca does so much for me. Okay, so I wear these like breath strips to bed. Like these things,
I know.
you've seen them.
They're so cute.
People message me to this fucking day and say, oh my God, did you get a nose job? Like, is that why you? I'm like, no, it's not not that I care about people who do that, but it's not a Band-Aid for a nose job. I wear this thing on my nose that helps me breathe at night, okay? I'm an old lady, whatever. I've been doing it since I was fucking...
She's been doing it forever.
Forever. And the other night, I got into bed and there was a breath strip, like one of the things I wear because I buy them in like packs of fucking 500. There was one next to my bed, like on my bedside table, and I was like, oh, did I put that there? Oh, that's smart, whatever. Put it on, went to sleep, woke up next day, went about my life, had a shower, got to go to bed. There's another one. And I'm like... No, I didn't have two there last night. I'm like, babe, did you put this breath strip here for me? And she goes, yeah, I took it out of your packet and put it next to your bed because you always like forget. You always get into bed and then go, oh, I forgot to get my breath strip, and then get up and go get it. And I was like, thank you so much. And she was just like, yeah, of course. Like, why would I not do that? And I was like, that seriously.
God.
I was so happy.
Wow, she's so cute.
Because I was like, man, every night I get into bed and I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot to breast strip on. Then I got to get up again, even though I'm just got cozy in bed. And she's like, yeah, well, you said you always forget. So I just put it next to your bed. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much.
That's like intimacy right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is like the love languages that they say like, what's your love language? And it might be like one of the 5 languages.
Yeah.
But when you find someone where you both almost meet like all 5 of them together.
Yeah.
But like as a nice balance.
Oh my God.
It's so nice.
Wow, that's so cute. Wow, look at us.
I know.
Do you reckon your relationship got a lot stronger since being away?
Yeah, we always actually say like, oh, we've leveled up. Like we say it in a way of like, oh, well, something happens and we'll go, wow, I feel like we just leveled up.
Yeah.
The fact that we spent, like I said before, 6 months together and never got sick of each other, and also we're had a baby with us, which in itself is a whole situation.
Going through the newborn stage,
Yeah.
the tired, like the sleepless
sleep.
nights, yeah, all of that together, that really pushes you as a couple,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Definitely does push you, and we've leveled up to that point where we're like, all right, we can do this. Let's have 5. Like, let's get a house and have so many kids.
Oh my God. I want to have so many kids and live in a house with you. I want to do that. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fun. I thought you were about to say like you wanted to do that in general, and you're like, we should just all do it together.
No, yeah. We need to live in a compound and do it together.
All about, yeah, I mean, honestly, with the price of houses, We may as well.
Oh my God, don't even get me started. It's really starting to piss me off. My rent just went up and I'm like, we just had a house inspection and then my rent went up and I'm like, it's the same house. We're doing the same thing. We've like, fuck you. Like you don't need to be greedy and have an extra $50. Like why? Like I get it. It's like, I get the economy's going up, but like,
I know.
I would like to get paid more for the amount the economy's going up.
I know, we don't.
You want to tell my boss to up my pay then? Like
Literally.
fuck you.
I actually apparently a lot of people don't know this, so I'm hoping I'm giving you guys a hot tip. So our real estate said to us, "Hey, your rent's going up to whatever it was." I genuinely can't even remember. And I think it went up like $50 or $60. And I said, "Oh, can we just do like a $40 increase instead of a $60 increase?" And they went, "Yeah, okay, no worries." And they agreed to it. And so I started telling people that and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know you could negotiate." Like you can't necessarily. They could say no.
Yeah, you can. Sometimes they say no because I tried to negotiate. They said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were like, no, for your location. And I mean, I live right on the beach,
Same.
like in a really good spot. Like I get it. I understand. But like, fuck you.
I'm a great tenant. I'm a great
Literally.
tenant. Just give me like a month, like a couple of months for free.
Yeah,
even.
that would be a really nice Christmas present to just them to be like, you know what, from the month of December, you don't have to pay rent. I'd be like,
thank you.
Give your dad a kiss on the mouth.
You're telling them to do that or you're going to do that?
I'll do it from me. You have to do it though. I'm not kissing anyone. I have a girlfriend.
Especially anyone's dad.
Daddy.
Daddy.
Oh my God.
Oh
my God. So I reckon because it's fresh in the fucking news feed, we need to talk about the secret lives of Mormon wives.
Wait, you've been watching it?
I finished it yesterday.
Yes, I knew you would like it. How good is it?
I wasn't expecting it to be like the Beverly Hills Housewives. I really wasn't expecting it to be that kind of vibe. But it's a mix of the Beverly Hills Housewives and the Kardashians in a culted religion. That's what I've kind of got it from.
It's just a reality TV show, really.
But my God, Whitney can get fucked. I cannot fucking stand that bitch. Oh my God. If you want to have a fucking band playing the violin behind you every time you talk and change your fucking hair, dude, be my guest. But also, you need a fucking therapist and you need to get a fucking grip.
At the start of that show,
she's so triggering.
I was like, wait, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Because the cutaways back to her sit downs, different hair. So I was like, who the fuck is that?
No idea.
So confusing.
She's so triggering and so incredibly victimizing and she's such a gaslighter. She's such a mean girl. Like she is just everything I don't want to be and try not to be as a person. So watching her and sure, maybe Hulu made her to be the villain of the show in the editing and all of that. Like I understand that.
They need a villain.
Reality TV shows do stuff like that. But they can't edit the words that come out of her mouth and the behavior and the way that her friends react, the way that her closeted husband reacts to stuff. I'm sorry, but she is a very sad girl on the inside and her husband is gay and he's in the closet and she's in denial and he was absolutely on Grindr and not on Tinder and she found out and it's this big secret and it's actually eating her alive to the point that she's projecting everything bad onto her friends and family.
Definitely. You know what's so sad too?
The pregnancy test in the cake.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just ranting, but my God.
I watched the show, love the show as well. Also was like, oh yeah, straight away, obviously she's the villain. She's been made the villain.
100%.
But the thing in the cake, right? Because I saw everyone on TikTok being like, that's fucking diabolical. Why would you put a pregnancy test in the cake? But just to be devil's advocate for a second.
Of course you're
just
gonna
for
be.
1 second.
Yeah.
So, everything nowadays is for the gram, right? People get cakes for things and take photos of the cake and then don't even eat it. Maybe that was the thing. She was it was a cake that was it was just for the photo or the experience so that her family would cut into it and be like, what's this? Oh my God, the pea stick, whatever. But also, if you just cut around it,
No,
I would.
She baked it into the cake. And you know what? Even if it was a faker and someone was like, it's not the real pee stick, I'd be like, I don't believe you. Because you made a joke about putting your piss stick baked into your little fucking pregnancy announcement and you wanted us to eat it and you're sitting over there hee-heeing because you think it's so funny. You're a piece of shit.
But you can't, if you were to bake a cake with a plastic pregnancy test in it, like it would melt. So she's obviously made the cake and then put it in.
Yeah, but how did she do that? Oh, put the
you
icing
just
over the top.
shove it in the sponge and then ice it over the top.
Well, I mean, that's probably what she did. I mean, she probably didn't bake it in there. But the fact that the piss residue, I don't know if it's just because I'm traumatized because when I was in Bali I was so drunk I missed the toilet and pissed on the ground. I don't know if that's just my traumatized brain thinking, but there is piss residue that goes on things and I may have pissed on a pregnancy test once in my life and I sure as shit got pee on my hand. So the fact that it went into the fucking cake, she probably didn't even wash her hands before she shoved it on in there, let alone cleaned it. But she's diabolical. She needs Jesus and not in the fucking Latter-day Saints way. She needs a fucking resurrection. I can't handle that girl.
Look, she did a lot of weird shit, but they really are harping on about making her like the super villain when the stuff that she's done is like, yeah, that's a bit weird. But I just feel like it's not
I think
evil.
she is. That fucking Fruity Pebbles birthday Valentine's Day present that she gave to Demi, I think that's her name. That's mean.
Wait, was that because her husband said she tastes like Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah, she said he said that she tasted like fruity and sour or something. Like it was a bad thing that she had confided in her friends about. Right. And that she just tasted a little bit off, you know? And she'd confided in her friends. And they all tried to make a light about it, saying it was like Fruity Pebbles and that it was like a funny little fruity joke.
Yeah.
And then Whitney brings her a box of Fruity Pebbles as a present after she'd specifically was like, this is meant to be like cutie, this is fun. And then Whitney turned around and she victimized herself and
the way she
turned the blame around.
The way she reacts when people tell her how she's made people feel is definitely like, all right, bitch, you actually made this person feel like shit. Why don't you just apologize for it instead of crying? But the things that she's done.
And getting up and walking away.
Yeah.
I feel like people like her have black eyes. Like her behavior was so triggering and the fact that she didn't get any better. And like in the last episode, if anyone's watched it, obviously
it's a great
you know what we're
show.
talking about.
Watch it.
In the last episode, she walks into like the roller skating rink and they've got her on and she's got this like half little smirk where she's walking in and she's trying not to be awkward and she just like pulled the birthday girl aside and was being really awkward, like sitting there being like, what? Like everyone's being such cunts to me. And it's like your friends, go and sit down with them and fucking talk about the issue. Go and sit down. Like if this is actually what it is, sit down and listen to your friends instead of being like, oh my God, everyone in the room is a piece of shit. It couldn't possibly be me.
Yeah.
It's everybody else. And that's that fucking victim card that she plays. And it honestly pisses me off more than I can explain because I know someone like her and I want to.
I also wonder how much of this came from producers. Because like if these people were actually your friends,
I think they're fucking on one. So I don't know.
Like you're clearly not actually friends with these people. It's clearly a social group of people who are trying to be famous on TikTok or are famous on TikTok, I should say, in the Mormon community that have come together for this only purpose of making money on TikTok.
Yeah.
But if you were actually friends with any of them outside of it, look, you'd make a phone call off camera and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did that.
Well, they're posting their fucking screenshots of their messages. Like, honestly, my favorite one is Demi.
Love Demi, yeah.
And I love the hairdresser. What's her name?
Jessie.
Fuck yeah. Jessie is a bad bitch.
She's a shit stirrer though.
She is. But you know what? That fucking group needs one of those because otherwise they won't hold each other accountable.
Yeah, that's true.
They need someone that's going to bring shit up. They need someone that's going to be in the fire, like ready to throw anyone in the firing line. Otherwise no one's going to talk about it.
And when it comes to a reality show, you need someone who's always got to bring it back to the drama because it is a television show. It's fucking amazing.
At the end of the day, yeah. And it's a top show.
To watch that show after like going to Utah, because we went to Utah, which I love. Utah was another place that we probably would live.
Did you see sister wives walking around?
No, not
Because I know that
personally.
in Utah, some of them wear the same outfit.
So what we did see was
Well, they're
women-
different. I don't know what sister wives and Mormons came
Well,
together, but you know what I mean.
I'm pretty sure the sister wives, they are Mormon, but like I can't obviously speak for the religion, but like a lot of the there are more, apparently from what I've heard, Mormon men who have multiple wives.
yeah.
But it is actually against the law to marry multiple wives, so they just call them wives, but they're not actually married to them.
Yeah.
And then there is also some Mormons who say, no, we don't. That's not our religion. But then there's some Mormons who are like, no, like men are supposed to have like multiple wives to serve them, blah, 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 whatever. Watch the show Under the Banner of Heaven. That is fucking hectic TV show.
Under the banner of heaven.
Yeah, it's based on a true story about a Mormon family where a murder occurs, and it's hectic. And it also teaches you about Mormonism along the way. So we watched that show while we were in Utah, which this show actually, Real Salt Lake City, we went to one of their games in Utah. Fucking amazing. Like Mormon culture is very strong in Utah. Like I would live in Utah for the beauty of it. It's such a beautiful place. The mountains are amazing. The hikes are amazing. The nature. There's so many like chill people there. But Mormon culture runs that city.
Wow.
Like for example, you know on the Gold Coast you can go out and there's like a cafe on every fucking corner. In Utah, it's not like that because Mormons own like majority of the businesses there, and Mormons don't drink coffee. So
Oh.
there's not a lot of cafes. There is actually soda bars everywhere.
wow,
like
they
when
were being
we're-
serious.
When we were driving through, like our friend who lives there was like, she's not Mormon, but she's dating an ex-Mormon. So they know a lot about Mormon culture. And she's like pointing out, that's a soda bar, that's a soda bar. And we were trying to find coffee in her like suburb. And there's only one cafe that's drive-through. And by the looks of it, I was like, are you sure this is a cafe? And she's like, yeah, they serve coffee, but they serve other stuff because they don't want to like deter Mormons from coming here. I'm like, really? Like that's how strong Mormon culture is here? And we went for a walk in the city on a Sunday. So it's the weekend, right? Every shop was closed. Like every store, every retail store, every cafe, the entire city was closed on a Sunday.
Wow.
There was a couple of restaurants open, but we couldn't take Realm because babies aren't allowed in bars. So some of the bars that also were restaurants, he wasn't allowed in, but he was allowed in the restaurants that served alcohol, if that makes sense. So if it's a bar first, no one under 18 is allowed because Mormons don't want young people seeing the drinking of alcohol.
yeah, and getting like persuaded.
Yeah. And because a lot of them own the businesses, that's the law. Or the rule, sorry. I don't think it's like a state law. It's just like the private law,
Yeah.
private rule. And also, we were going to go to a shopping center. I was like, I looked it up on the map. I said, why don't we go shopping here? And then my friend's partner, who's an ex-Mormon, was like, that mall is owned by Mormons. And like, I would not go there because you guys are gay. Like, don't go there. You'll feel really uncomfortable. And I was like, really? Like, that's how strong the Mormon culture is in Utah.
If there's anyone that's watching this podcast right now and you are or were a Mormon or you know like facts about the religion, I would love to.
Same. There's a seat right there,
There
you can
is.
sit in and tell us some stuff because I found it
Fucking get
really
in.
interesting. And I'm not even saying it in like a...
Yeah, I just want to know from a different perspective
Yeah.
that we don't have. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
that perspective because I'm not a Mormon.
No.
I'm not religious at all. So I don't have any sort of...
It's very interesting.
I'm like ex-religious. I'm like ex-Christian. So like I have sort of a Christian... Wait, what am I saying? I have like a Christian upbringing.
Yeah.
But like now as an adult, I don't
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get that.
And the Mormon culture is very
Yeah, you don't-
interesting. To be
yeah.
in Utah, because at first we were like, oh my God, we could live here. This is so cool. I love this town. I love the vibe. I love the nature. But like after
Wow.
being there for a few days, because I think we were there for like just over a week, we were kind of like, wow, this place really, like you feel the Mormon culture here. And you see like the women on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives,
Yeah.
how they like, you know how they always dress up, like they're always on. It's not just because they're
Yeah.
on a reality show. Like Mormon women are like that. And you
Yeah.
see women like that all throughout Utah.
They did say that like there's a lot of things that they can't do. So the things that they can do, they do like hardcore, like Botox and plastic surgery and
Yeah.
like to change their appearance a lot. That's because it's not downplayed in their religion. So they just like have outlets, which is so wild to me because I don't think anyone should want to do that to themselves. Like a little touch up here and there is great, but like trying to change your entire appearance is fucking wild to me.
I think it's because from what I've heard from the ex-Mormons that we met, because we met our friend's partner and then some of their friends who are ex-Mormon, they kind of explained it like it's this thing where you like always have to look perfect. Like you have to put up this facade of like, we are the perfect family, we are the perfect church, like we have this like, it is such a facade because when something bad does happen, like in this show Under the Banner of Heaven that you should watch, when something bad did happen, the way that the church tried to like hide it because they were like don't bring this up. It's just a crazy story. It's such a crazy
that's like,
show.
What is it? The fuck me. What am I saying? Be sweet, pray and obey.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's like about a guy who ends up having like 50 wives and there's like a lot of underage women. Like he's marrying like 14-year-olds and all that. I think it's on Be Sweet, Pray and Obey. I feel like that's what I'm talking about. It's on Netflix. It's a full thing.
What religion is it?
It's like a cult. I think it's Mormon, but they end up being in like he builds like a massive house where they all live in and he has like 50 wives and they've all got kids and they're all just collecting like benefits from the government to like make him rich.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's like makes them all wear certain things and do the hair a certain way and it's just I don't understand. So if you do understand, anyone that's watching, I would love to be educated just to have the conversation.
It's so interesting.
So another thing that happened while I was away, wait, you were away.
While I was
not
away,
me,
yeah.
While you were away, I have to tell you about fucking Stalker Steve. I've named him Stalker Steve. Initially, I nicknamed him Stove. And to be honest, I don't give a fuck that I'm full naming him right now because he gave me the fucking creeps. So, anyone on the Gold Coast that's listening to this, stay away from this man if you know who I'm talking about. Anyway.
You've never told me this.
Oh, my God. So, my beautiful friend Lily, who I work with, I live with her.
I was like, what?
I live with her. She has been living her best single life. So, long story short, she may or may not have been on a bender, right? Met this guy. He plays himself like he put the fucking pyramids of Egypt together on his own. Like he paints himself in a really manipulative way because he's really easy to convince that he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
There's something about him that he says certain stuff in certain ways that he paints himself out to be Hercules. You know what I mean? Anyway, first night I met him, 4 days into her bender that she was on. Anyway, meet this guy. Obviously was treading lightly because I was sober and I was just kind of observing. And he was nice to me. Next minute, tries to tell Lily that he doesn't like me. Thinks that I'm a black cloud and that I'm a really negative person. And I'm like, fuck up, cunt. Like, you're all full of shit, basically. Lily then has my back. And then he's like, oh, I was just kidding. It's like he tried, now that we're looking from an outside, he tried to shove a wedge between us to see if he could.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't work. Anyway. We moved on. I took it with a grain of salt. It was a 4-day bender, whatever. They continued their bender, whatever. I saw him a couple times. He was quite a nice guy. At one point, he came over. I cooked us dinner. They weren't like seeing each other or anything, but they were just like hanging out. And then Lily didn't want anything to do with this. She was over it. It really wasn't going anywhere. So she just kind of called it off. Anyway, she goes to Europe, right? She's over there living her best life, having a great time. And he's messaging her and says, I'm going to pick you up from the airport. And she, in a drunken state in Paris, goes, okay. And then calls me and is like, fuck. I just said that this guy can pick me up from the airport. And I was like, don't worry, sis. I got this. So I messaged him and I was like, I'm picking Lily up from the airport. Don't worry about it. And he doesn't reply to me, sends her a screenshot and just starts fucking laying into her. You're a child, you're this, you're that, like fully fucking ripping her to shreds about her like about me picking her up from the airport. She's drunk in Paris, sees messages, doesn't screenshots them to me, doesn't reply to him. And I'm like, you know what, fuck this guy, don't worry about it. Just go and enjoy, like it's like your last night. Like don't even worry about it. Anyway, next day rolls around. She's been traveling for 24 hours. Her plane gets delayed. She's like 3.5 hours late getting home than what she was meant to be. All of these things, right? She's home for less than 15 minutes on the front door. Front door. And so we live in an apartment, right? So you have to get buzzed in from the bottom door to be able to come up to our apartment door. It's how it works in an apartment, right? He's at our door. And we didn't know that. We just got a knock and then it was gone. And he texted her and was like, welcome home. I've left you something at the front door. So mind you, she's already 3.5 hours late to getting home, plus driving from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. She gets home in the middle of the fucking night and her and I are just standing in the kitchen, and then less than 15 minutes after she gets home, there's a knock at the door. Anyway.
Did you pick her up from the airport?
No. Oh. Okay. No, I didn't. This motherfucker had left a paper bag that he'd drawn a face on and stuck googly eyes to, packed an entire bag full of all her favourite snacks. And he doesn't even know her. Like, he literally has only been on benders with her. He bought every single gluten-free fucking snack that she's ever posted on her story, that she's ever even looked sideways at in an aisle. Like, it's like he knew her. Like, he knew exactly who she was. Like, she's a very clean eating sort of like semi-vegetarian vegan person when it comes to all of her sugar-free bullshit. Yep. I can't agree, but you know what it is. It's who she is as a person. And he knew that, but he doesn't know that. It was something that he had just like researched. And then we're looking through it being like, wow, this is so wild, like so weird that he knows all of your favorite snacks, like down to the exact sort of chocolate that she likes. And he'd written love notes on every single snack and put googly eyes on half of them. Like, I'm literally not taking the piss. And obviously that's crazy. That's crazy, right?
And then there's more to this though, because I don't know the story at all. So part of me is like, is this cute? Like, is he just...
If it was someone that I felt safe with, that I was like, I knew that had like gotten to know me, sure, but like not a random guy that you met on a bender. Okay. Like, there's a difference between the cute and weird, you know?
Yeah.
And then he owns a facility. I don't want to out him completely and be a total piece of shit, but he owns a place in Burleigh, and one of our friends got hired to work there per se, because they know that Lily doesn't miss any of their events. So they did it purposely, hired this friend of ours because they know that Lily would turn up and they know that Lily would be there. And then the first time Lily didn't turn up, then they ended up cancelling all the other events for that person because Lily didn't go. And then Lily goes like out clubbing, and she's like in the same vicinity as this guy, and he comes up to her and he's fucking yapping on, trying to convince Lily that she's in love with him. He's like, you're in denial. You're fucking crazy. You love me. We have this bond. We're in love with each other. Blah, 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 blah. And Lily's looking at him being like, no, like, you're literally fucking crazy. And then he literally took home a 20-year-old that night, and now he lives with his ex and his pregnant current girlfriend.
He lives with his ex and his pregnant current girlfriend?
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I'm not sure personally. Personally don't really know how it works. And I feel like I'm just telling you little bits and pieces of this story because it's really not worth my time. But I hadn't told you about Stalker Stove and Stalker Steve. Honestly, I gave him a nickname at the beginning, was Stove, but he doesn't deserve that anymore. He's a fucking loser. And Lily's just like blocked him, doesn't talk to him. But he was like still following all of us on Instagram. Then he blocked me. I'm like, oh, did I hurt your feelings?
How do people not get the hint?
I know. He's actually like, there are just some fucking people out there like that just, they'll do anything to try and get your attention or like they don't read the room. It's like, you're not interested. Like, this isn't going anywhere. Like, we don't need to make it a big deal, but instead they make it such a big deal.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, guys,
That's
like,
scary.
Yeah, it was scary. I've never been scared in my life. Like there was one night that because we never close our blinds, like our apartment's like on the corner up the top. So like you can't really see anything. And we always have our blinds open. And one night we got so scared that he was waiting and sitting out the front of our apartment that we had to close all the blinds. We were like crawling around on the ground. Like we were genuinely scared for our safety because
so scary.
He just kept rocking up. Like that, he rocked up to our house 2 other times when we had friends over, and he'd like call that friend to like come outside and like talk to him. And we were like, who the fuck are you? Like, what are you doing? Who are you? You're fucking 45 years old. You fucking weird cunt. Like, get out of here.
Do not just rock up to someone's house. That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's
so weird. Yeah.
It's a weird thing to do. Never, ever, ever go to someone's house.
I know. That's like our place
uninvited.
it's our place of sacred.
You got to be careful with who you invite, hey, where you like,
got to be careful
who you let know where you live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a lesson learned for sure.
That's so scary.
Yeah. And I mean, like, she avoided it and she did well, but like also he needs therapy. Like,
he's not a problem anymore?
No, he's definitely gotten over it. I think he's moved on to his next victim.
Fuck me.
I know, so bad.
Shit, that's scary.
Yeah, he's absolutely mental, but he's gone now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just hope she's okay.
Yeah, I think that would be Lily's pit of the last 6 months.
Lily's pit. Lily's not even here. Lily's got a peak. What's her peak? What's Lily's peak?
Her peak is probably that she made it through a year of a divorce. I reckon that would be her peak.
That's pretty good.
Lily, when you're watching this, because I know you will, because you're a fucking supporter.
Number 1
if we're
gal.
wrong that your peak is making it a year out of your marriage and
your pit is
Stalker Steve. If I'm wrong, you can come into my room and just let me know.
Or you should come on the podcast regardless.
Oh my God, she would love to come on.
Peak and pit.
Yeah, I reckon she'd love that.
Let's finish up with our peak and pit of the last 6 months of being away from each other.
Oh my God, mine's really sad though.
What? Your pit or your peak?
My pit.
Your pit as well.
Yeah. Oh, so I'll go first. My pit is the last 6 months. One of my beautiful friends passed away, and it was honestly one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. And so yeah, that was definitely my pit of the last 6 months. She passed away tragically, had like an allergic reaction, and then I got told from her family, and it was honestly so horrible, so sad. And she was such a big fan of our podcast too. So I'm really sad. Yeah, it's really sad.
How do we not talk about this?
We
haven't spoken. Like
Yeah,
Jordyn and I honestly we've spoken, but not like
in depth. We've just been like catching up casually.
Yeah, because we kept saying save it for the podcast.
Yeah,
Really?
everything. Yeah,
Fuck.
she was such a beautiful person. And yeah, she just had a reaction to fire ants and was out doing she was like a content creator, one of my good friends, and yeah, she just had a really bad reaction and passed away. It was horrible. Like, it was honestly, I found out at my nephew's birthday, and it was just like trying to celebrate life while also hearing that sort of news. Like, it was definitely life changing, really like perspective changing, I guess. It was really horrible. So that's definitely my pit, not to make it sad.
So, oh my God.
So sad, so very sad. And I feel very hard. I feel really hard to feel very hard. I feel like it's been a real struggle to grieve over it properly because she's American. So she lived in the States, and I was really the only person that knew her here. Like, I just met her when I was in America.
Oh, okay.
So she wasn't here. We only hung out like one time, and we just but we had like such an online presence friendship together. And she was just such a beautiful person, and it was just so sad because like no one around here was going like had felt anything for it. So it was just like one of those things that I just had to like get on with my day and watch people that I knew that were friends with her like grieve from far. I think it was really sad.
Shit.
Yeah, horrible.
That is, yeah, that's the worst.
Just got to be careful, I guess. You never really know when it's your time.
You never do.
Honestly, devastating. But I mean, that was shit. But I mean, there's not much worse than that, you know? Like if that happened to me and I started talking about some other bullshit that was making like my pit, I'm just delusional.
Grief there's nothing worse than grieving.
Absolutely delusional if I think that there's anything worse than that. So I mean, besides that, it's actually really weird that girl just got out of the car in front of us because it looks exactly like her.
Really?
Isn't that really weird? If we had the camera turned around, you would see this girl with like black hair and tattoos just got out of the car. Literally, that's so weird that we were just talking about that.
Wow. The signs from the universe.
Wow, that was weird. That just made me like almost pee a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
But the only time I've ever experienced grief and like loss is my granddad, and my granddad and I were estranged. So my grief came from seeing my dad sad.
Yeah.
That's where my grief came from. And so this was something that was like, it just got me at random times. Like it would randomly just hit me and I could not stop crying. Like it was just something that I'd never experienced. It was my first time, and that may sound very privileged, but that's just the truth. I've never experienced death. And
a lot of people haven't. Like I've had all my grandparents pass away and my mum super tragically. And when I have spoken to people about it and found out like just over the past years that some people haven't even lost like a grandparent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I immediately feel like, okay, I feel like I need to warn you of how bad this truly is, because when it does happen that you lose someone close to you, like someone in your family, if you've experienced grief, holy shit, like losing someone close to you, no grief is what we talked about this today, like privately. Me and Jordyn were talking about how like grief, it just doesn't even matter like what age somebody is. You don't even have this experience of like, oh well, people say at least you got like really good memories with them, at least this, at least that, like at least nothing. When you lose someone, it changes you, like your whole life. Someone close to you, someone that you know, anything, like it's the craziest thing.
Yeah. It really is. And like obviously it's very different, like what you've experienced compared to that situation. It's like I can't even relate. But it's a whole different feeling that it's like as human beings we don't know how to deal with it until we're in the position to deal with it. And then you just have to fucking figure it out. And you have to get along with your life. You have to keep going. You have to keep going to work. You have to keep paying your bills, because life doesn't stop because you're grieving. And that's so horrible, but that's literally reality. Yeah. It's reality, and that's so horrible that that's a thing.
That saying of life goes on, like it truly does around you, and you kind of have to just like eventually keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible. Fucking hell. Do you want to talk about your pit while we're down?
Yeah.
And then I'll do my peak and you can do your peak?
My pit over the last 6 months. I feel like after like my birth trauma and also losing my mum, I'm like, I can't even compare anything in the last 6 months to be a pit, because I'm like, I've had so much bad shit happen in the last like year and 2 years. But like a pit. I'm going to have to start with peak because I can't even think of a pit, to be honest.
Perfect. I love that for you. I literally love that so much.
Like I probably have bad shit that's happened, but it's like
not obviously bad enough like, that comes straight to mind.
My peak was definitely like being able to see like Bianca have time with her family, because we are in a relationship where we're from different countries, but like to be from a different country of someone that you're dating, and like anyone who's experienced this will know, it is like you live in two different worlds. Like it's so far away, and she has to miss her people to be here, and to see her be with her people and her family, and see Realm like experience life with like his grandma, as in like Bianca's mum. That was like, it's like it made all of it worth it. Like I didn't care that we were like spending savings or not working or like taking time off life or like taking time away from like saving for a house, like all these like things that don't even actually matter. None of that mattered for how priceless it was to like be with Bianca's family and friends and see her with her people.
Quality time is everything.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's such a good pit. That's such a wholesome, like genuine peak.
Yeah.
Peak, sorry.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so sweet.
I guess the pit then in that sense would be like leaving Bianca's mum, like to come here and not know that we're not going to see her until potentially August. Like we're trying to do a thing where she comes here every August and we want to go to the US every like June, July, and then maybe she comes home with us. That's our plan moving forward. But
nice.
yeah, that sucked leaving her. She was very sad to leave Rome. Like
Yeah,
to
I
see
can
them
imagine.
separate was really sad. All of us were crying at the airport.
Oh my God, that breaks my heart.
What is your peak?
I think my peak is it's gotta be Mills. I'm gonna name her.
It's got to be the GF.
It's gotta be the girlfriend. I have a real fucking girlfriend who actually doesn't care, like actually cares more if I live rather than die. And to be honest,
great.
I don't think I've ever dated someone that has cared if I live or die. They haven't cared at all. So the fact that Mills does care that I'm like happy, healthy, thriving, and she does anything that she can to make sure that I am the happiest version of myself at all the time.
I love that.
She's got to be the peak. She's honestly, she's a good girl.
Yeah.
She is the best.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. She's the best.
You're so in love. And so lit, to be honest.
I am.
We're both pretty
I
lit.
feel like I'm slurring my words.
We're going to go upstairs now and have some off-record conversations because we have not caught up properly. Because Jordyn literally came over and we were like, quick catch up,
Yep.
and then straight into podcasting because we didn't want to like get it all out and then have no energy. So we had a
And
couple
I need to
wines.
pee so bad.
Okay, let's go.
So we're going to film again next week. We're going to get back into the track of it. We just needed to fucking dump some shit and give you a life update. And then we're going to be back with the topics and the tea and all of the things.
Back with the season 3. We've missed you guys so much. We've missed podcasting. Thank you to everyone who has messaged and been like, said they really miss the podcast. Because I'm like, I
Makes
miss
me
you so
excited.
much.
I said this to you before and I was like, it's like my hobby went away.
Same.
Like some people like playing basketball. I like podcasting.
Yeah.
I like talking shit and drinking wine. And I don't know if that counts as a hobby, but to me it does.
You know, to me it does because like each week at like the 1,000 or 2,000 people that we got that was like consistently listening, I was like, I feel like this little group of people,
a community
who are catching up, and the guy, like the people who would like email us and like catch up. I was like, oh my God, I literally love this.
100%.
This is so fun.
Yeah. Well,
So fun.
cheers to that. Cheers to us.
Cheers to the start of season 3, and we'll be back. Please message us if there's anything that you want us to specifically talk about because we kind of just like dumped everything and it was just like blah, 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 yap. So much yapping.
But anyway, I'm Jordyn.
And I'm Zoe.
Thanks for listening to